Hey everyone, welcome to the SIG ContribEx meeting. I am Arpit, and here before the meeting starts, I just want to make sure to remind everyone of the CNCF Code of Conduct, which basically said to be respectful of our fellow folks. And just yeah, also we have a ritual over here where we allows everyone who is new to the call to introduce himself or herself, and also it's totally optional. You don't need to do it. You can either do it on a chat or like you can unmute yourself and do it. And so let me start. I am Arpit. I am a member of the contributors form from a year now, and I am also being a shadow under social media coordinator, which is Kathleen. And because he is not here today, I am leading this meeting, and this is my first time leading one, so yeah, pretty excited.
Awesome. Yeah, no, this is great. Thank you, Arpit, for hosting, and also thank you for the boilerplate intro. Awesome. Hi, Al. I'm Chris Short. I am a co-lead of this sub-project with Caslin Fields, who is out today. I have been with Kubernetes longer than I can remember at this point. I think 7 years, maybe 8. But I'm been a part of SIG ContribEx for a long time, and my pronouns are he, him. Pass it off to whoever wants to go next.
Yeah, I can go next. I'm Sharuz. I'm a solutions engineer based in Frankfurt, Germany, and I've been working with Kubernetes for a couple of years now, and I'm looking forward to contributing to the Kubernetes project.
Awesome.
Hey everyone, my name is Arvind. I'm a developer and a student from India. I've been part of the ContribEx team for some time now, and I'm one of the blogging shadows right now. And my pronouns are he/him. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. So I'm Fred. I've also been active here in SIG ContribEx comms for some time now. I'm currently working more on the blogging side of things, and I'm also involved in the Kubernetes release team for the last couple of releases, as well as other open source and free software work. And I work at SAS. Pronouns are he/him.
Other than Arvind, which you don't have to introduce yourself if you don't want to. I think that's it.
So I think we can continue.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like basically if we are moving to new items, Chris, this is regarding you. We like message on the re-profile and about not responding to DMs to the LinkedIn account. Any updates on that?
Yeah, so we got a random DM, somebody's resume, and obviously there's PII in there, so I'm a little sensitive to that. But basically the consensus is ignore the messages and put up a general message of DMs to this account will not be responded to. That's pretty much it there.
So like should we do a LinkedIn post for that?
Nah, I think there's a way to kind of like put it in the sidebar on the
like we can put it in
page.
the about section of the page.
Yeah. Let's see. Interested talent. Yeah, that's been turned off. All the like job like features have been turned off from the account already. So it's interesting to me that people would even message us. you know, but
Well,
again, it is
people
a
can do
company on LinkedIn. It's a company page. Yeah. But I will add this message right now.
To be honest, I do add Kubernetes on the company section of any talk I generally submit.
Yeah, I think that's fine. It's the like random person that doesn't realize this isn't a
Yeah.
company necessarily. Yeah.
Also, you are out for July 4 to 7.
Yes. So you're welcome to run the meeting during then. I imagine like it's a US holiday, so I don't know what the greater community is doing just yet. I would assume. Well, it's not actually a US holiday. It's the day after the US holiday, but I will be off. So we can discuss later next week, I guess.
Yeah, I think Kathleen will be back by then.
Yep. So we'll figure out if it's a no meeting Friday, a different meeting Friday, whatever. So that's it for me.
Also, like moving to the updates and big wins, finally the SIG Note spotlight has been published.
Yay!
Any, like seriously, anything you want to say, Frederico, on that?
I mean, not much more than the fact that it was published. So you can also say something, obviously, about that one. I think it went out yesterday or Tuesday. I don't know if it's Tuesday or Thursday.
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah,
well,
yesterday.
Yeah, 24 hours ago, it looks like, according to LinkedIn.
So, so it's there. It's
Yeah.
and it's. I mean, it's always good to point it out when they are released, because they are, after all, the end of significant effort from everyone. So yes, specifically congratulations to you that actually did the interview, and let's wait for the rest.
Thanks. Like it's went after a year when I started working on it. So yeah, it's feels so nice. So we are moving on to the board right now. Any more updates and big wins anyone wants to share then?
I got nothing. Don't worry.
No, I'm good.
All right. Already going to the board.
Yeah, like Kathleen will be so proud of us. We generally do that like before 10 minutes for the meeting.
I'm sure she will hear that. I think she listens to the one she meets, so that's cool. Yeah, you want to run through this?
Yeah, why not? So let's start with the ready for review column.
Cool.
So we have the shadowing guide for ContribEx.
Yeah, I'm still. So I've already reviewed most of the comments there, but I need to end that review. I have a couple of suggestions and corrections there for clarity. I'll do it during the next few days. So that's the status of it.
So it's still in the ready for review. Also, that's Kathleen thing to do, like add ContribEx form logging shadow guide. And that thing, I think it's merged.
No, it's still open.
Yeah, it's open.
But let's see. Oh, there's comments 3 weeks ago. Arvind, May. Yeah, so.
Yeah, but that's the same one that I was mentioning, right? There are two.
Oh.
They are the same.
Okay, they are the same.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
One is the issue and the other is the PR, I think.
Huh.
Oh.
perhaps, if I'm not completely wrong. Who
Well,
issue
running the
exactly?
board for the first time.
Well,
Yeah.
Also, we have SIG API machinery spotlight article
yeah.
on the ready to
So good one. That one is still so. I did remove the work in progress. I've created the other for the website one, but there's still no action. I will ping SIG docs in the Slack channel so that they can have a look. Because since last week there hasn't been any action there. So I mean it's not urgent, but 1 week I think it's a good time to bring this to their attention.
Yeah. Good call.
So now let's move to the in progress item, and that's we had this issue for a long time. Notify comms team when a new issue is created. I think. So are we doing this, or we can like move it?
Which one? Sorry.
The notify comms team?
Yeah, it's a draft, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it something we can even do? Right, like
Yeah,
we ruled
like-
out Slack, right? So how else would we do it? I don't know. Yeah, Federico, what do you think?
No, so this would be something that you and others that are more to work more daily with Zapier and other such tools can give a more proper opinion. But in general, if we want this, I suppose that we could work with the Kubernetes bot or whatever Pro or whatever it is, always adding stuff. So and it would be triggered when comms is selected as the area, because that would be, I think, the way to differentiate between ContribEx in general and ContribEx comms. But I'm currently unsure if we can actually change that, but that's what I think would be the way. And you mentioned Slack. I mean, in theory, I could even see it doing a sort of push to the Slack channel, right? New issue created. But I don't know, maybe you've tried that before and it didn't work, or it was spammy, or
the hard part about like Zapier and GitHub is
Yeah.
that it doesn't give you access to the labels. It doesn't show you much metadata at all, to be honest with you. So it'd have to be like triggering on the title or repo or, you know, something very specific. So
Yeah.
the
that doesn't work.
Zapier route's not an option, I don't think, at this
No.
point.
And what about something more direct? So then we face issues with permissions, right? Because I could see this work with GitHub Actions or something like that, which would directly integrate with Slack, for example. I'm just thinking Slack as an example. We could even have a ContribEx comms notice channel for just for this. But that requires giving some amount of permissions for the messages to be published in Slack. Maybe that's not a problem. Maybe we don't want Slack. Maybe it should trigger an email. Although the state of email today is also debatable in terms of being more or less noticeable. I'm just thinking out loud, because a lot of the stuff that I'm saying would work if we were completely free to do the things that we want to do. But you have more insights and experience in terms of understanding the real possibilities that we have, because maybe we really can't do any such integration at all because of permissions.
I think we did rule that out at one point as far as Slack goes. I forget the reason why.
Possibly Slack level permissions, because in order to enable this sort of integration,
Yeah.
You at least you don't have to have the like super user authority, but you at least need someone with that authority to allow that sort of integration into the channel. So, and maybe that is the problem.
Yeah. There's a Slack in Kubernetes Slack info, that repo. There's a Slack post message thing, but it is no, that's the never mind. We already know what that is. That's not the same thing. That's for like mass message posting.
Yeah.
So like right now, there's not, aside from an event logger, that's kind of a lot. Just seems very hard to do at the moment.
Would it be helpful if I just at least ask around some questions?
Yeah, I would.
If nothing else, to flesh out again the reasons why this dropped, and document it perhaps, so that we 1 year from now we're not having the same discussion.
That would be great. Thank you.
Okay,
Because I think this is a done thing, and done as in like can't fix. So
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. I'll take a look, because this is something that I've actually did for other projects that I work with. And I mean, this is usually done. It's not, I'm not particularly an expert in it, because I mean, having actions being triggered when something happens on a Git repository, specifically for instant messaging, it's yeah.
So
but yeah.
The options are, at least in Zapier, are for new things. So like a new notification.
Yeah.
That could just spam us, a new mention, a net new label being created. That's not going to help us. You know, like there's not a great, like, new global event could be literally everything. And then it would be everything coming from the community repo too, right?
That's awful.
Yeah.
We need to work on actually and that, in order to reduce the false positives, and we will always have the risk of missing out actual positives, but this would have to work on the specific comms label. So whenever someone does the area comms thing, that would trigger us, because I think that's the only absolutely clear way of determining if something is supposed to be for comms, or at least someone determined that it should be for comms. And if it isn't, then we should clarify it. But this, you can't do this at the creation. So this needs to be done by something that is always checking the lifetime of the issue. So yeah, I'll take a quick look just to get to the bottom of the real reasons why this can't be made, and call it a day.
I think it's, the triggering on a label ad is the issue here.
Yeah.
Like that. And because it's also in a larger repo with more than just comm stuff, right?
Exactly.
So those two things, I think, are going to negate the possibilities of this to an extent.
Definitely.
And it's sad that there's not like a bunch of options for Zapier either. It's only like when new things happen. So there's clearly some API limitation there too.
Yeah, to make you,
Yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, this is probably a done deal. So we can move on.
So yeah. So moving on to the next one, we have SIG architecture spotlight.
The SIG
like we have SIG architecture.
Some more discussions around availability, still nothing clear, but I'm trying my best in order to close a date for the missing article. But it's still no white smoke at the moment.
I love it. No white smoke. Good. I like... That's funny. Sorry.
Also, is the SIG architecture enhancement one is a different article, or it's the same block?
That's what.
So it's the SIG architecture spotlight article was converted into a sort of meta issue that will be closed when you do all the sub projects, right? And we're missing enhancements, so that's the one that we're following up. When that's done, we can close both.
Oh. Also, next one is also for you. It is SIG ETCD.
Yeah, let me see. Is there anyone working in the SIG ETCD article with me here? Let's see. I think that Sandeep is helping with this, but the status is that, as part of the shadowing thing, the status is that we share the questions and we're waiting for answers. So they acknowledge the reception. They say that they open up a new discussion with all the people that are participating, and they have they're working on the answers. This is relatively new, so we at least 2 weeks more. It's perfectly acceptable, and I'll do a status check at the end of next week just to be sure that we can have that we can keep the ball rolling.
Oh, nice. Also, the next one is SIG security that is assigned to Arjwal, but he is not here. So, anything you know about it?
Yeah. No. So yes, SIG security. The shares that we've reached out again have confirmed that they are interested in it. That this was like last week after we insisted a bit more, and we've shared the questions. So they have the questions. Yeah,
Okay.
it's progress. Yeah. So they acknowledge the interest. They send us the questions. We sent the questions, and they are now hopefully working on the answers and on the content. And we will 2 weeks or something. We'll ping them again and be sure that we are on at the right path.
All right, I'll update that. Questions have been sent.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. The automation. Or sorry, go ahead. Yeah, never mind.
No, like I am going for the next one, but if you have something to say, go ahead.
So the not on scheduling, or wait, where are we? My phone. I just updated something and I don't remember what it was. Shoot. So anyways, there's a issue open for automation. It's the one we talked about with Nigel a long time ago. Nigel's been doing all the things. So I just pinged him to make sure it's done. I think it's done. So as far as eliminating the manual labor, I think that's complete. I'm not 100% sure though.
So next one is SIG scheduling. I think that's the one is for Arvind, I guess.
Yeah. Hi. So there haven't been any updates yet, and I'm sorry about that. So last week I was gratefully offered the role of the comms shadow for the KCSNA. So I had to draft some emails and social media posts. And then last week I also got sick, so I have been resting a bit. I'm feeling okayish now, so I guess next week it should be done. The questions have been filled. I just need to convert it into a HackMD and then ping Federico and then carry on from that. So that will take.
I think that is no problem, I guess. SIG spotlights take sometimes too much time.
I mean, it was supposed to go out last week. I should have failed the HackMD, but then everything came at once, so I didn't get enough time. But yeah, next week yeah, I'll start working on that.
Yeah, that's no problem. Well, I take almost a year to write one. Also, next one is help wanted force, and Sandeepan is not here. Any comments on that?
Hmm. Wow. Yeesh. Nigel's pinging all the leads for the Contrib Summit, so let's get it straight from the source during KubeCon EU. Huh. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know where that stands. That might be a Caslin question.
So it has been passed for the next meeting.
Yeah.
Next one is that automation one, using the Zapier tool for eliminating manual labor on YouTube.
Yeah, that was the one I was just talking about that I kind of did out of order. My bad.
And like adding all the use cases for Zapier automation, that is also one.
Yeah. Let's see. I removed the lifecycle rotten. I think I don't know when I'm gonna have time for that. So if anybody wants to get fancy with Mermaid.js, feel free, but I'll hold on to it for now and actually write it down as a to-do. Go ahead. You can go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, next one is the sensitive communications process. That one is
That is
you.
also kind of stalled. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Mario assigned himself. I know. I think most of us have seen this, but yeah, it's tough. I think we need a larger audience for this, to be honest with you. We might not have the right people in the room right now for this. So that being said, it'd be nice if Kate Slack Infra would drive this a little bit more. Maybe they are. I haven't checked in with them lately, so yeah, I'll take that as another thing. Feel free to continue. Oh, did we lose Arvind? Or not Arvind? Arpit? Looks like it. Okay. Arvind will come back, we hope. Or Arpit, sorry. I am bad at this. It's okay though. Yeah, guidelines for sensitive end user impacting comms is also related to this. I wanted to do it at the Contributor Summit last year, apparently. That didn't work out. And then guidelines for usage of Kubernetes IO. I know there's been some work on that, but not a lot. So yeah, I'll have to look at that one too.
Yeah.
Basically,
Just
all my
I got
work's
a-
behind. Shocking. Arpit, you back?
Yeah, I just got a power cut.
Yeah. Oh, that sucks. Sorry, buddy. We're done with the in progress column. I don't know if you want to get into to-dos. Basically, the bottom of the list is all my stuff, and I'm still behind on everything. So yeah.
Like for to-do, if anyone wants to take a blog, there are a couple of blogs open right now.
Yeah.
Also, I have 2 blogs for to-do, which I will be start working on this week. That's the update. I will ping both of the groups simultaneously. I have done with working for the questions for the steering spotlight blog. So I will ping them, and I will also be working on the question doc for SIG docs spotlight.
That's awesome.
I'm happy to take a spotlight blog, but I think after this one ends would be a good idea because then both will be in. Yeah, so I think after this one gets over, I'll be happy to pick another one.
Cool.
Yeah, and obviously we'll be providing help, assistance, support, hints throughout the process. So yeah, it's anyone that wants to jump in and take something, always, even if they not necessarily the first, if they are the second or the third, there's very little hand-holding needed. But for those listening that might be interested, I mean, it's actually quite straightforward to start and do it, and it's always nice to see your name involved in something that ends up having I think a good contribution to the community.
Agreed.
So, like, is anything left with the board? I
Not
don't
really
think so.
I mean, there's a prevent duplication in LWKD articles issue. I'm not sure if that's going to get any progress in this meeting. So maybe we should take it off the board. I don't know. But that's it. Yeah. Are we done? That'd be nuts.
Also, there's this one, like, promote new contribute workshop content.
All right. I think that's it, y'all. Did we just do this in under 40 minutes somehow?
That's a great way to start the weekend.
Yeah,
For
true.
me, at least.
Very true.
Yeah. You still have a couple more hours to work through, but yeah.
Awesome. Yes. Many more hours to work through here on the East Coast. Cool. Arvin, you want to wrap this up? Or Arpit? I'm so bad today. Sorry. Arpit, would you like to wrap this up? Arpit, you're muted.
Oh, sorry, I'm speaking for so long.
Okay.
Like I am saying, I have an idea. So like we are doing we all are doing a couple of spotlights has been already out. So I am like thinking, like, if we can promote the Kubernetes blog, the complete Kubernetes blog thing, like weekly one tweet. Like many folks won't does not even know that a spotlight exists.
True.
But
So yeah.
Go ahead, Frederico.
no, sorry, go.
So is the request here to just socialize more spotlights or socialize the spotlight process?
That was my question. So
Like,
yes.
so like I am thinking of both. like if we put a like the recent spotlights what we have which have been published last 4 months, we can put the tweet, and we can put a post on every socials we had, like blog alert or something, and we can do that. And below that we can write, if you if anyone wants to write a blog, they can join us here, and that's the way we can cover more spotlights.
So
Yeah,
I'm
so-
torn. I'm a little torn on that, but go ahead for Riga.
No, I was thinking that's sort of a meta article, like a spotlight on spotlights, right?
Right.
Yeah, and my question was before was exactly the same as Chris, because part of the idea of making the spotlights more known is something more around the actual visibility of the blogs themselves, right? Kubernetes Dev and Kubernetes IO. Actually, spotlights are even privileged in that regard because they get published on both. So from a consumer perspective, from those that read, the reach of them is limited by the popularity around the website and the contributor site. And so what I'm saying is that if you do another post around them, they will reach the same audience that already has access to the others, right? So it won't necessarily improve the visibility of them, because that needs to be tackled at a different level. On the other hand, if you're making this article more with a contributor audience in mind, so people that already have the follow the blog, etc. But they, by reading that article, they might be more encouraged to, I'll step in and actually do a spotlight myself. I think that's your idea,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's my idea. Like, I am just thinking, like, if we publish a new article or a new blog, like how do contributors or the audience get notified whether we have published something new?
Yeah, but so that's the part around more, it's not spotlight specific, right? It's around the websites, and
Yeah.
I think it's a great debate, by the way, but we've tried to improve that by, for example, having it automated on Twitter, on X, whatever you want to call it. Maybe we want to share it in LinkedIn as well. I tend to share in LinkedIn as well, but it's let's think like this: if you do not do a spotlight related article, but you end up publishing something on the contributor side, the same thing applies. How do we want to make people more prone to actually find the article? And this is more about broadcasting and increasing the social visibility than anything else.
This is very much about like social media campaigns.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like we can remember everything that we put out on either blog is automatically shared to all of our social media accounts, like the moment it comes out and once the schedule from Buffer hits it, kind of thing. But to do more, like, and highlight more posts, totally fine. I think that would make sense to do, but we have to do it in such a way that tells our existing audience something new about the piece of content. So we have to think in that regard. Like,
yeah, like
yes, the
for some
content
time-
exists. Yes, we want you to read it, but why are we talking about it this time, kind of deal? And that is to increase engagement, but we need a reason, like why we mentioned this kind of thing. Like it could deal with something we saw in the community and WLKD on social media, whatever. But I think building campaigns around our articles make a lot of sense if we have the people to do it.
Yeah, so like for sometimes I am trying to write a couple of blogs for some companies. So I am just noticing this trend that like whenever they publish a new article or a blog, they simply put that blog article, like we have published something new, you can take a look and read out. Also, like if we are posting it from official Kate's account, we can post it like this. Like if we have covered a SIG, we can highlight like if you folks want to know more about the SIG, we have done a blog on it, and you can go and read over it, because SIG Spotlight generally covers the whole aspect of SIG, so we can do like that.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I think like that becomes another spreadsheet of tweets though, right? And in kind of the similar way that we do with KubeCons, we do the same thing with content, right? So we put a series of tweets together about that piece of content, and then we roll them out like 1 or 2 tweets a week kind of deal.
No, actually, I'm thinking there are two ways of doing this. One, the way you are proposing, and the second one is whenever a new article is being published, like the next one which is going to be published, I guess is SIG scheduling. So when that got published, we can put out a tweet the next day for that particular one only. Or we can do it weekly for all the blogs on the Kubernetes blog site. Like weekly, we will put one tweet.
Oh,
We will
like
select
a This Week in Kubernetes post kind of thing?
yeah,
Or-
kind of that thing.
I don't disagree, but I'm trying to figure out how that is better than the current automated way things are done now. And I'm not quite there yet, I guess.
Like my whole point is like if I talk about from the perspective of audience, if I took myself as an audience and I saw a tweet regarding a blog or something which is posted from a Kubernetes account, there's a high chance I will go and read it, irrespective of checking the whole LKWD article, because I personally believe LKWD is checked by super enthusiastic people who actually want to know what happens in the Kubernetes space and all. But for the general audience, they generally tends to know things from tweets, posts, etc.
Okay. I think we're saying the same thing, just in different ways, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So you're saying like a wrap-up post at the end of the week kind of deal, maybe?
Yeah, we can do that.
More information than just title and link kind of deal.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense, and I'm all for it. The how we do it is the question. And if it's a bunch of spreadsheets, fine. If it's a strategy around highlighting certain parts of the blog post, I think that's fine. I think it makes sense. I think resharing things that have already been shared as far as like through the automation pipeline is fine. Just so long as, it's enriched with a little more humanity.
Like
I
I
think
have an
that's
example.
totally fine. Like if you want to put together some examples and bring them the next meeting or whenever you get them done, that would be great, I think. Because then we could sit down and be
yeah.
like, how can we systematize this in a way that we all can do this? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, I am reading the SIG release blog last week. So I have this idea in mind, like a couple of folks from from various parts of globe try to become a release shadow whenever the application goes out. And Nitish has done incredible job in the release shadow spotlight of explaining the whole process and how one can get involved. So we can do a post like this. Like if you want to get involved in the release shadow program, you can check out the SIG spotlight blog on SIG release. That's is very much helpful. Kind of like this. My wording is wrong. I can
No. I think
correct that.
I think your wording's good. It's not off. It can be improved, yes, but the idea I think is good. I think we should have timely things like, hey, a release just happened. This is how it works.
Yeah.
This is how you get involved. Like doing that kind of thing as maybe replies or quote tweets, I think makes sense. It's the other platforms where we have to be like, are we doing
Yeah,
it as
like
a net new post on LinkedIn? Those other things that, you know, the things you can't do in Buffer, like threading and replies and quotes, like that requires somebody to have direct access, or something net new has to be created. And that requires no new access. So there's some constraints. We just got to figure them out and how to do this so that it's not just you doing it. Or, but
yeah.
we don't want that. Yeah, no, I think we put together some examples and like timing, like when they would go out. Think about that too. And like, does
Yeah,
it
like
coincide with a release?
like
Does
we
it
can
coincide with an event? That kind of thing. Yeah.
like we can do a spreadsheet on weekly tweets, like 3 or 4 tweets a week, and anyone from the comms team can write those and schedule those.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
And like for reviewing, you, Kathleen and Frederick are there to review if anything goes wrong. We are not putting out that directly. So
Yeah,
that's
no,
no problem.
you're, yeah, that, I think that's perfect. Like, and yeah, I kind of like the idea. I think we've always wanted to do this. I just don't know if we have enough people or a smooth enough process yet. It's one or the other,
Yeah,
right?
actually, I am talking to someone from CNCF, and while discussing, I told him that I have written a couple of spotlights, and he was like, "What is a spotlight?" So I came to know that many folks don't know that we are doing spotlights, and spotlights exist. So
But
just
that might be surprising to you, but I mean, you shouldn't.
I mean, we see the stats, right? Like, at least I see the stats, and yeah, like, I'm not
So,
sure. But yeah,
but even, I mean, you should also assume that everyone from the CNCF follows Kubernetes blogs closely, right? That's another one.
Yeah.
It's
I barely follow the blogs closely.
yeah, exactly. So, and I'm just saying this is not limited to the spotlights, because spotlight is an interesting part of what we do, because it gives a window into the inner workings of Kubernetes. But we also have other blogs that follow the same fate, right? The main issue is, are the Kubernetes public blog sites, be it contributor oriented like Kubernetes Dev, or end user oriented like Kubernetes.io, having the right reach? Because with that, everything else gets sort of solved. And as Chris said, I mean, there are different ways to think about it, but they are all more or less structural and require a bit of work. But I do agree with you, Arpit, that maybe just saying this is delaying stuff, saying, well, it's very complex. Let's talk about it next year. Maybe we should
Yeah, we
start
need
to have
talk
this
about
discussion.
Yeah.
But we need to involve ContribEx in general, docs,
Yeah.
etc.
All
it's more
all
of
the
a
usual
Kubernetes community.
suspects.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe we can have like a brainstorming session on this specific topic. How to increase the visibility of this even impacts some of the important stuff that we mentioned before, like deprecations, like the change in repositories for the image registry in Kubernetes, right? One of the things that we discussed as well, the blog article that we wrote, it is great, but we need other ways to reach to people, because we can't really assume that everyone is reading the blog. So it's all connected.
yeah, I agree with you on that part. Like my main point is like to know like to what, like if anything we are doing on the, am I audible?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I
okay.
think
I
that's fine.
I
Yeah,
thought you
you're good.
all got paused for a second. Yeah, so my main point is like if we are doing anything, we can just tell the public that these things are there. If you want, you can read them.
I think, yeah, let's maybe talk about it in the larger ContribEx meeting,
Yeah,
and then we could talk to docs and all the other folks Federico and I mentioned. It's a solid idea, right? It's not a bad idea.
yeah, like I
The
have
problem
seen
is, how do
couple
we
of
measure success,
Yeah.
right? Like, if 5 more people get to the article, is that success? Like, if nobody sees the tweet, like the visibility of the tweet itself, is that success? All right, like we got to come up with those factors too, right? Proof is in the pudding. I definitely
or
think
like we can try it for 1 month and then we
Yeah.
can analyze the results.
I think that would make sense, right? Like we do like a trial run where we set it up.
Yeah.
We are intentional about which metrics we're trying to influence, and we do so in a way that would actually make an impact. And then we need to see not only like the past 7 days, but the past 30 days to see if there's been any improvement. Because something I've noticed lately with social media is I post something and then it gets popular the next day for some weird reason. I don't know why. But yeah, like it takes a bit for it to get out there and kind of get amplified too. This could just be my own experience and could be completely different for the Kubernetes accounts. We definitely need to do a test run. Absolutely. And I think whatever you've got in your head ready for examples is good enough for a test, in my opinion.
Yeah. So like it's all.
So when's the next ContribEx meeting?
Next Friday.
Well, the comms meeting next Friday, yes. We should discuss this here. But then the ContribEx meeting, we're supposed to have one this week. There
yeah,
won't be
that
one next
one
week.
is-
So it'll be a week and a half from now. Let's discuss here next week. And then we'll bring it up to the larger ContribEx team and be like, thoughts? And this is what we plan to do. This is how we plan to measure it. And then we go from there. But yeah, a very light, what is our goal in doing this? How will we measure this kind of proposal statement might help. And it could be a paragraph, like literally a paragraph, and a link to a spreadsheet if you want.
Yeah, we can figure that out in the next meeting. Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
So like, should we wrap up or anyone wants to say anything?
I think it's time to wrap. We got people dropping off.
So thank you everyone on YouTube for watching us. Bye bye.